Hey guys, this is a video showing how to set up the MoviChip CamSwitch, how to set the settings on the unit. If you want an overview of the unit, I've done another video for that. I'll put a link in the video description. So let's, for example, say you want to trigger your cams according to load. So we're going to be taking a signal from a map sensor. You want to trigger it according to RPM also, and you want to trigger the cams only when the engine is up to temperature. So first of all, we'll go to sensor 1. We'll switch on the adjusting section here. Again, the error 515 comes up because this app is not connected to the unit at the moment. So you'll get these plus and minus figures here. So if we want to activate the intake cam at, say, 50% throttle or 50% load, we'll just go plus or minus until it gets to 50. And if we want to say trigger the exhaust cam at, say, 60% throttle, again, we just plus and minus until it gets to 60. It's really that simple. Then we come to the RPM. So say we'll want to set the relay 1 to trigger at 5,000 RPM. We'll go plus or minus to get this number to where it says trigger waiting ... RPM. When you do plus or minus, this will change to the RPM increments, and it goes up in 200 RPM increments. So for example, we'd set relay 1 to trigger at 5,000 RPM and relay 2 to trigger at, say, 5,200 RPM. Again, plus or minus, very, very straightforward. And then we come on to sensor 2, which in this case will be monitoring coolant temperature. So we'll just go plus or minus when the sensor signal reaches X voltage, which matches the Celsius that we want the engine to be classified as warmed up. We just go plus or minus to say it's going to be 80%. So we'll just go plus relay 1 until it says 80%, plus relay 2 until it's 80%. If you're going to be doing it by coolant temperature, these should be, I think, the same. And basically that's it. So you've got 3 layers of conditional cam activation. When the camshafts deactivate, this is a very important point, the camshafts deactivate when the threshold from sensor 1, relay 1 is not met any longer. This is the only threshold that the cam switch looks for to deactivate the cams. So it's very important to have relay 1 and relay 1 with a value, a real value, and should be lower than relay 2. So that's a very important point there. And the off delay, you can have it at 0 seconds or up to 5 seconds. So if you want to keep the cams open between gear changes, you could say set this to sort of 1 second or 2 seconds. Click the options button. Colors, you can set up the different colors in the app and names. Let's use this as an example. So we'll click on sensor 1, we'll delete that. And in this case, we're using it as a map sensor. In this example, we're using it as a map sensor. So we'll just go uppercase and just write map there, click update. And you can see that sensor 1 is now called map. If we click on it, it says map live. And you can do that for sensor 2, relay 1, intake cam, for example, relay 2, exhaust cam. If you're only using one cam, or you only need to activate one cam, maybe the 2 cams are activated at the same time, then you would just, in the settings, you're just going to be entering a relay 1 activation threshold. So you're not going to be dealing with a relay 2. There's no need to have that activating. So you can set them to maximum. So you'd set map 2 to 5 volts. You'd set the RPM threshold to red line and sensor 2 to 5 volts. And then the relay 1, solenoid 2, the relay 2 in the cam switch will never activate. Guys, that is it, how you set up the cam switch. Hopefully this video answered any questions that you've got. If it didn't, feel free to email us a question. I'll put our details in the video description. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more product videos like this, product information videos, information about new products that we've got coming out. And I'll see you again next time.